What's up, DC Natives? Back to another Batman comic review, guys. Today we're checking out issue number 96, Joker War Part 2. Now, this is actually a big issue, because last issue started out the whole Joker War event, and basically we have Joker stole all Batman's money. Batman is now just having a couple of his weapons to take on the city, because Joker's taking over. He has the Underbroker pretty much keeping, like, the police at bay. He's keeping everything in order for Joker, right? And in a way, he's pretty much making everything go out of order. Now, we have Punchline dealing with everything else, and she actually has a Jokerized Lucius Fox that is telling everything about Batman. Now, what happened was Batman thought he had hideouts in, like, all over Gotham, right? Especially Wayne Enterprises. But when he went into a hideout, he ended up going into, like, a fight with Punchline. They had a big battle, Punchline getting nice, Batman fighting off against her. But what happened next was then Punchline diagnosed him with this fear toxin / venom / Jokerized serum, all this different stuff that can make you go crazy, right? And Batman was going crazy, started running toward the window, out of this hideout, out of like Wayne Enterprises. And what happened next? He started hearing Alfred, and Alfred was like, "Bruce, you're going backwards. Stop!" And that's when we see the Bat plane from issue number 86, the very first issue in James Tyniot's run, with a smile on, and it sets a missile right at the window. And we're pretty much left with, wait, did Batman survive? Now, this issue, before we get into it, has a dope cover. Now, I really like this cover. It actually looks pretty cool. Just seeing Batman on top of the Batmobile and Joker just pretty much driving it. Like, I hope that actually happens in this storyline, because that'd just be really cool. But still, we open up this issue, and we don't actually find out immediately if Batman survived. So we see this utopia, which is Gotham. Everything's going well, and you hear Batman talking to Alfred, like Alfred's alive. We know something's fishy here, and it doesn't seem right. Now, Batman's saying, okay, clear the block. We have pretty much our scanners on this one thing that's going away, and we'll go stop this villain. Now, we don't know what villain Batman's stopping, but we find out that in the whole target zone that this villain's going to, there's this kid. And this kid's walking, gets his bat signal on his phone that's pretty much telling him, hey, get away before you get hurt. Because Batman doesn't want anybody else to die in the city, Gotham, ever again. It's pretty much almost a utopia. And this kid's like, wait, I have a bat signal on my phone. That only means, and you see the Mr. Freeze, this Mr. Freeze bus just go by, or this pretty much like van. So that means Mr. Freeze is the villain that Batman's going after. But most importantly, this kid gets so excited. This kid's like, wait, no way. And he sees Batman on he's in his new suit, by the way. He's in the new blue suit that was introduced last issue. And he's on this motorcycle. It looks really dope, guys. It looks pretty cool. You see him going after Mr. Freeze, and you see Mr. Freeze get out, and he actually has two sons, which is Ice Pop, I think it's Ice Pop, and Snow Cone, right? Yeah, not the best names. Still, you have these two kids of Mr. Freeze, and Mr. Freeze is like, I'm not leaving, Batman. Batman's like, I know you can hear Mr. Freeze, but let's just surrender now so nobody gets hurt. Now, Mr. Freeze is like, no, you made this utopia. Me and my boys pretty much remember when it was just Gotham. It was gritty. It wasn't a utopia, and we're going to bring it back to that age. And these different kids are like, wait, can I experiment a little bit? I want to see how much I can freeze Batman and kill him. And Mr. Freeze is like, don't worry, I made these new guns that can freeze and kill pretty much almost immediately. Now, they shoot at Batman. Batman comes by and freezes him totally, right? Freezes the motorcycle, freezes him. But that's when Alfred's like, don't worry, Master Bruce. You have a thing pretty much heating up this ice right now. You'll be out in 3, 2, 1. Batman jumps out, and what he does, he has these heater rings. Yeah, heater rings. And all it is pretty much it's batarangs that can counter-react, like Mr. Freeze's, like, all his, like, ice, right? It melts it, because it's heater rings. You know what I mean. But still, you have Batman. He jumps out. He throws the heater rings. It hits Mr. Freeze's two boys. They're knocked out, and Mr. Freeze says, boys, and Batman's like, and they'll be alright, your boys will be alright, and you will too, just surrender now. Now, they beat Mr. Freeze, and we see Batman make it back to the Batcave with Alfred, and Alfred's like, wow, it's a record. This is the first time you went against a villain in months. It's a big deal. And Batman's like, yeah, it's a utopia now. It's going so well. And now Alfred's like, I hope there's no problem with Miss Kyle. So it turns out Catwoman and Selina and Bruce are actually married, which is a big deal, right? Like, we've been wanting that to happen for a while, but we keep getting faked out. Us DC fans, right? But still, we have that, and Bruce is like, yeah, shoot, kill me. Pretty much supposed to go to Tokyo. And that's when Bruce is like, yeah, I'm going to actually have Barbara, Leslie Thompson, searches this whole Mr. Freeze thing, how he got, like, the freeze rays, and how he pretty much came back as a villain. Because they don't want any villains in Gotham City. They want to just be a utopia, you know? And that's when he's talking to Alfred, they're going down to this place, and they're talking about different people like Timothy, Tim Drake, Connor Kent, different stuff, and Bruce is all happy, because Alfred's like, wow, look at your little Gotham. He's like, yeah, it's not really little when you're like right around it so fast in this motorcycle. But that's when Alfred has a grim look. You're like, oh man, I knew this stuff was fishy. I knew this world was fishy. It was an alternate world, or just in Batman's mind, because this is when it gets crazy. That's when Alfred says, wow, it's so hilarious to see all these words come in your mouth, to see you so happy, even though you could be alone, even though you have no family, no love, and you're gonna die. And that's when we see Alfred, he gets up, and you see like this quick switch, and you see him just broken neck in the air. Gosh, George Demez's art is amazing here. And by the way, James Tynion's writing this issue is really well done, especially this opening, like this intro to the issue. I really like it. But especially this page. The writing's good, and the art is top notch. You see pretty much an Alfred with a broken neck just going by Bruce, and then it starts, you see the broken neck and actually the head, it starts smiling like the Joker. Bruce is like, no! It's creepy, guys. Do you see Alfred just broken neck smiling like the Joker? It's crazy. It's crazy sequence, and I love it, alright? Like, it's really good. George Demez is the only one that can pull off this. I know other artists can probably do it. This is the best way to do it. Now, we shift, and Batman actually wakes up. He survived the whole blast from last issue. And you have Harley Quinn. Yes, Harley Quinn survived, like, pretty much getting her neck slit by Punchline, issue number 93 of Batman. Now, what we see here is Harley's like, wow, you're awake, that's good. We need to save Gotham. And Batman's like, oh, wait, well, how'd you survive? She's like, yeah, knife line, that's what she calls her, not Punchline. Pretty much slit my throat, but I got bandaged up. I got fixed, right? And she asks, wait, where's Catwoman? And Batman's like, well, she's gone, but wait, how long have I been asleep? And Harley's like, 3 days. And Batman's like, wait, what's been going on? Harley's like, well, everybody knows what's going on. Joker is taking over the city. And that's when we see this whole page, what's happening. And what we see is Joker's taking over the city. It's all like pretty much crime in Gotham. Everything's not going so well, right? And we have Joker giving Joker planes, Joker mobiles, Joker everything. Just with money backed up by Wayne Enterprises. Like, he has $1 billion. He can do anything. And that's when we see that the cops are not doing so good because Underbroker is pretty much making the city go out of control. So citizens have to defend for themselves. And we see this family just sitting quietly as this clown comes into their house. And he's gonna kill them, right? But that's when we see the Clown Hunter. The very first appearance of the Clown Hunter, this new hero. Actually, not hero. Anti-hero, or this new character in the Joker War. Comes up, gets an axe, kills this clown, takes him out, and this family asks him, son, are you okay? He's like, no, I'm far from okay. But I'll probably feel better once I keep taking down clowns. So that's all he's doing, which I'm surprised. I actually thought the Clown Hunter would be another villain, working with the Joker. It turns out he's actually just a regular citizen in Gotham. Well, not regular, but still, he's not working with the Joker. He's on his own. He's on his own mission. And we're going to find out more about the Clown Hunter in Joker Warzone #1, which will be coming out in September, and I will be covering on this channel, so stay tuned. But guys, we go back to Batman and Harley, and what we see is Batman asks Harley what's going on, and she's like, well, it turns out the Punchline of what she diagnosed you with, the pretty much the stuff to make him go crazy, is actually, they're trying to make that bigger. They actually bought Ace Chemicals, and they're working on something, and that's what Punchline's lead. Now, the Underbroker is just controlling the police, controlling lawyers. He's controlling pretty much everything, so Joker can just, like, do whatever he wants, right? Like, that Underbroker is covering the legal side of it, or the illegal side. But that's when Harley's like, wait, there's actually been, like, an advertisement going out that Joker's been releasing, and in a way, it tells his plans in like a coded way. You know it's not going well. And that's when Harley shows Batman this advertisement, and you see the one guy from last issue who's talking to Joker when Joker bought the Monarch Theater, you know, the theater that Bruce left with his parents before his parents died. And you see this guy, he's strapped up, and he has a Z across his face. He's like, he's doing an advertisement. He's very afraid, but he's just doing it for the Joker, right? And he's reading off this paper. He's like, come see the thrilling, pretty much adventure with romance, all these different stuff. It's an awesome movie that, pretty much the Mark of Zorro, that's the movie, but only 3 people have seen the ending. You could see the ending today. And he's like, it's gonna be, all these different, screenings at the Monarch, Theater of the Mark of Zorro have been sold out, but we'll actually let you get in and watch this movie. It's such a great movie that we'll actually pay you $10,000 $10,000 for everybody who comes to see this movie. And he's like, don't miss out on this, come over. And that's when he's like, wait, no. And on the paper it says, alright, pretty much, on the paper it says the final, like, shot. And that's when Joker just shoots the guy in the head. So that guy's dead, and poor him. I feel bad for him. He had to read all that stuff, pretty much acting character and not look like he's scared, and then just gets killed. But this is a walking trap. Like, you walk into the Monarch Theater, you're like expecting to die. Like, I would not take that advertisement seriously. Well, I would take it seriously, but I would go by and be like, oh wow, there's a new movie called The Mark and Zora, I better check it out. No, I'm not checking that out if I'm a citizen of Gotham. Now what we see next is Batman's like, Monarch Theater? Wait, and he starts remembering that that was the same theater that he was with his parents the night of his parents' murder. Now we see him, it's young Bruce, he's with his parents, they're laughing, they're getting out of Monarch Theater, Batman's remembering this. It's actually an awesome page drawn by George Jimenez. That's when Batman, you see him with, well not Batman, but Bruce with his parents in Crime Alley, and then their necks are broken and have Joker faces, just like Alfred was in the beginning of this issue. It's crazy, guys. And Batman's going crazy, and Harley's like, knock it off. Gotham needs you to pretty much get your shit together, or we're all gonna die. And that's what Batman's like, no, I gotta get out of here. He starts hearing Alfred again, and Alfred's like, oh, Harley's gonna attack you, take her down, and go to Monarch Theater to take down the Joker. And Batman's like, where are we now? That we're actually at Park Row, that's what Alfred says. And Batman's like, wow, that's actually not that far. We can take down the Joker. And Harley's like, I'm not here to hurt you, like, I can actually help out. And Batman's like, no, he takes down Harley, pushes her away, and Batman jumps out the window, going off on his own. Harley's like, no, you have to pretty much come sane again, stop being crazy so we can save Gotham. But that's it for Harley for this issue. We then shift to Batman going on this one-man mission, and we see him take down some clowns, pretty much patrolling the city. He's like, wow, it's really worse around here. Like, everything's not going well. Like, Gotham is usually a bad place, but it's even worse now with all these clowns just running around killing people. That's when Batman makes it to Monarch Theater, and before he actually goes down there, though, he's on, like, this gargoyle, and he's hearing Alfred, and I was like, hey, I'm actually true, what's going on? Like, I'm not just a voice in your head, I'm real, and Batman's like, no, you're not real, I'll deal with that soon. But he's like, I feel like I'm having a psychotic break. And that's when I was like, no, you're not. And Batman's like, no, I am. I'm cutting you off. I'm just going on my mission. And that's when Batman swings down to Monarch Theater, and we see him get in, and he's like, I don't know if it's a hallucination, or is that Joker has actually built this place from the ground up again with all that money that he stole from me. So Monarch Theater looks like it's brand new. Like, it looks pretty sweet, I'll say that. But you see Batman, he's like, this is crazy. He's like, I gotta figure out what's going on. And he opens these doors, alright? And he sees a whole audience in this theater just dead, Jokerized, laughing, pretty much smiles, right? And he asks Alfred, hey, read vitals. And the only vitals that are pretty much the only people who are alive in this room is Batman. So it's a big deal, and Batman's like, why would Joker kill these people? And actually, these people look like they're actually dead people from a long time ago, like just rotting corpse. Why would he bring them back up? And Joker's like, well, they actually are a rotting corpse, to pretty much confirm that. And it's like, the reason I'm doing this because these are people, all the people I killed over the years that you couldn't save. And these are criminals, citizens. So I got an army of Gotham citizens and Joe Chills. I got an army of people who you couldn't save, Batman, from me, from all my madness. And Joker's like, well, they actually have a problem with you, Batman, because you couldn't save them. And that's when these Jokerized people get up and they start laughing. You see Batman's freaked out. On the final page of this issue, you see a whole army of different Jokerized people in this theater going to attack Batman. In the background, you got Joker just laughing. Like, this is actually a cool ending to the issue. Gets me excited for next issue, and it's actually really great. Like, guys, that's the end of this issue. We'll actually pick up next video, Batman '97, to see how the story continues. But my thoughts on this issue. First off, George Jimenez's art is amazing, guys. From Alfred's neck broken, him having like a Joker smile, to Martha and Thomas Wayne having a broken neck and pretty much a creepy smile. All these different visuals in this issue is just it's done so well. And only George Jimenez should do that. So props to him. Like, he's my favorite artist, alright? Him, Jason Fabok. Like, George Jimenez is one of the best DC artists, and actually one of the best artists of all time, in my opinion. And this is actually early in his career, so I'm looking forward to see how he develops his art style in the future. Now, James Tyniot's writing, it's pretty good. I like the whole opening of seeing, like, Utopia Gotham, and then Batman going against the Joker, but the writing isn't as strong as last issue, because last issue felt more interesting, in my opinion. I still think this issue is pretty solid, but it's just not as good as last issue. But still, it gets me excited for the part 3, which will be coming out soon. And actually, this issue actually gets me interested in the Clown Hunter, this new character in this series. And we'll see how this character develops, but I'm excited to see how this whole storyline keeps developing, because it's a great storyline and great event so far. And that's why I'm going to give this issue a 8.5 out of 10. Yeah, you guys should check it out. I recommend it. And guys, in the comment section below, tell me about this issue you loved, you hate. What do you think about all the stuff that happened in this issue? What do you think about George Chemez's artwork? Like, I think it's amazing. What do you think about it? And also, what are your theories for next issue? And actually, what are your thoughts on the Clown Hunter? Do you like him? Do you think he had a good first appearance? And will you be picking up the Joker Warzone? And guys, I think you should. Like, other than it being the brutal, like, appearance of Clown Hunter, like, it'll explain his character more, we'll actually also see in that book Cassandra Cain back as backer. Like, that gets me hyped, alright? If that doesn't get you hyped, I don't know what will. But yeah, guys, that's pretty much the video. If you'd like to give a big thumbs up, new channel, make sure you on the next Batman comic review. You don't want to miss out on the next part in this Joker War event. And yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.